So once you wrapped up your postdoc, were you going straight for industry? Were you seeing what was available,
Yeah.
casting a wide net? Or?
Yeah, it's interesting because while I was a postdoc and working on my signal transduction project, I didn't have quite as many touch points into industry as I did while I was in graduate school, and so
okay.
And so what I did instead, I have to put in a plug for a program down at Stanford that was run out of the chemical and systems biology department, but it was called Spark, and
Spark.
it is a program that is designed to facilitate discoveries that happen at Stanford and translate them into small companies.
Oh, okay.
Wow. And I think I had continued to nurture my interest in working in industry and biotech while I was at Stanford by building a relationship with people in those programs, and that was a really critical part of my postdoc education process.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing a lot of the kind of topics that I was interested in about how to discover drugs, how to turn them, from early hits into commercial products. That was something that really kept the kind of fire going for my desire to end up in industry. So yeah, when I was starting to wrap up, I was really keen to just hop out into the job market and start seeing what was out there in terms of startup jobs and jobs at bigger industry companies like Genentech and other things in the area.
Yeah. And so where'd you end up going?
So I was on the market for about 6 months. I was looking, and I had a bunch of interviews that didn't really go anywhere. And I interviewed for a job at Novartis in the oncology group, which at that point was in Emeryville. Okay. And it was the former site of a startup, a pretty well-known startup called Chiron. And Novartis had acquired them in the early 2000s and built a research site up in Emeryville. And it was a group mostly focused on oncology at that point. And I went out there and I interviewed for a job in the genetics group, even though I'm not a geneticist. And I didn't get the job. But I heard that through the grapevine of people that hadn't offered me jobs, that there was a new group moving to the site, and that was an infectious disease group.
Okay.
And so that group was moving from Cambridge out to Emeryville, and they were going to be hiring people to do everything. There was all of the jobs being open, but I was particularly focused on small molecule screening and assay development kind of roles. And the job I ended up finding there was in the antibiotics discovery group.
Ah, okay.
So I unexpectedly made a shift from eukaryotic biology to prokaryotic biology.
Yeah.
But I ended up in the kind of job that I was kind of hoping for, even going back to my early graduate school kind of pipe dreams.